Okay, awesome. Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, so the title of the class, I really love coming up with the title, but it doesn't always match the whole class, you know? Okay, the title is Juggling, Spirituality, and Physicality. But this is my little acronym for Rambam Philchot. And your sources, because mine says my notes, whatever. Okay. So first, there's a cute little picture based on the story that I'm about to tell. So I recently got a new game because my family loves games and like we get bored of the same old ones. And the game, anyway, so like I played it once before. Yeah, I'll wait 30 more seconds for these people to join. Hi, Zivine, Trina, thank you for coming. Okay, so juggling spirituality and physicality. Great. Okay, I recently got a new game and I like played it once before, so like I didn't like fully read all the instructions again. So I kept on remembering rules in the middle of the game, and like my little sister's like Samantha, like I'm gonna kill you. What are you doing? You keep on remembering the rules in the middle of the game? Like that's not how it works. Just read the full instructions. So then I did. And I was thinking, like, imagine someone just made a game without instructions. Like, what would we do? And I used this analogy once before in a different opening of a class, but I just love it. Anyone want to try to guess my meme style here? Instruction, the creator. There's a game actually called what I'm referring to. Starts with an L.
Life?
Yeah, life. So
like,
how could life be equated to a game? Yeah, go Fortune.
We have like the Torah and all these Sfarim to teach us like how to live our life. Like it's our guidebook. And if we didn't have it, we'd be like so confused about how we should like live our life and how we should carry on and like what we should do to maximize our time.
Exactly. Love it, Fortune. Yes. Like God, the creator, gave us an instruction manual to how to live our life. And my question to you is, does the Torah have all the answers?
I'm assuming yes.
Yes, it does. Not a trick question. Okay, so now another question that I was once struck with in my year in Israel. Why don't we study Torah all day?
I guess we wouldn't be able to live the Torah if we're too busy studying it all day. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, love it. Like, yeah, go Jacqueline.
I don't know if I told you this, but this has literally been my recent thing that I don't know if I told you this. I just had to like answer this survey for Flatbush about how many hours of Torah I learned a day. And I was so angry because I was like, you're testing my hours? I just live my life by this. Why am I being asked how many hours I study of Torah? Like, this is just my life. I don't know. It's like, it's all the hours. And like, it's just interesting. That's what you said, because I feel like when it comes to Torah, it's just what we live our lives by. And like, it's not about just the amount of hours we spend studying it, but like applying it to our lives and practicing it.
Yeah, Jacqueline, we were talking about this, and like whenever my classes are basically what I'm thinking about and like Rambam Philchot inside. And like I was really passionate about this and thinking about our conversation. So you're gonna see that it's gonna tie in. But now with nice sources. Okay, so let's continue. Mishneh Torah Hilchot Talmud Torah. I will read. Nevertheless, whoever sets his heart to pursue the study of the Torah, but do no secular work at all, and permits himself to be supported by charity, behold him, he blasphemed, like blasphemous, the name, and degraded the Torah, and shadowed the light of religion, and caused evil to be brought upon himself, and deprived his own life from its share in the world to come. So basically, Rambam here is saying, if you just learn Torah and you don't have a job, you're horrible. You're like disgracing God's name, and your evil is going to be brought upon you. Okay. Any thoughts on that? It sounds a little crazy. But now let's see. Then he says, he who supports himself, ומידת חסידים הראשונים היא, ובזה זוכה לכל כבוד וטובה שבעולם הזה ולעולם הבא. So it's saying that someone who has a job and supports himself with his own money and his own labor is the righteous person and is following ethical conduct and will receive all the good in this world and in next world. Okay, very interesting. So basically what we're saying is first we're like, oh, like maybe when I was struck with this question, I'm like, oh, maybe I should be studying Torah all day. Like, what am I learning from other things if I'm really not doing anything? And like, if I could make money from it. Okay. Then I read here that Rambam says, like, no, you don't need to study. You shouldn't study Torah all day. You should have a job. But then I'm going to counter him, and I'm going to say, the pasuk in Yeshua. Anyone want to read it? Yeah, go, Sivan.
Can you just make it a little bigger though?
Yes. Here.
Oh, actually, I think I see what it says. V'ha-kin'ah v'atava v'ha-kavod.
Oh no, sorry. Actually, this one, Yeshua.
Yeshua, sorry. לא ימוש ספר התורה הזה מפיך והגית בו יומם ולילה למען תשמור לעשות ככל הכתוב בו כי אז תצליח את דרכך ואל תשכיל.
Okay, you want to explain what it's saying?
The Torah won't, I don't know what yamush means.
Okay, so don't like separate from it.
Okay, from your mouth and say it day and night. Rather like Liman, like therefore you should like keep it and do like everything that it says because then you'll be successful and you'll be smart.
Amazing, yeah. That so in the pasuk in Yeshua, we're gonna end up getting back to Jacqueline's point, but the pasuk in Yeshua says, don't separate your mouth from Torah day and night. Like continue studying. But then Rambam said, go get a job. So okay, interesting little struggle. Anyone have thoughts on it before I continue? I can't. Okay, let's see. No, okay. So let's just continue. First, what do I think? I think that Rambam is being so, I guess he's using extreme language here a little bit. That you should really, yeah. Go, Sophia.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay,
yeah.
I chatted what I wanted because Zoom told me there was something wrong with my mic, but I don't know. I chatted everything I had to say.
Oh, okay. He who lives his life by giving charity is using all his money and is eventually going to run out of money. He will have to live like those who he was donating to, and I think that's why it's a disgrace to God. It's not a healthy balance. Love it. Yes, Sophia, agree. Okay, so one, I think that Rambam is like saying that you really should get a job and not just get charity from other people and learn Torah all day, even though learning Torah all day is amazing and it says in Yeshua that we should do it all the time, is because like what Sophia was saying, I don't know if it's so ethical when I could just go enjoy my life over there and learn and just be in like, let's say, the Bet Midrash, and other people are going to support me, like Derech Eretz Kadma Torah. And I think obviously he agrees that you should be studying Torah a lot, but at what cost? Like we learned before that study is great, but really, is it the means to the end to the mean? Like what's the goal? Okay, but now I have another question. How much should we be involved in the world? And like, what are the dangers? Anyone have any thoughts?
What do you mean, like assimilate involved in the world, or like just kind of, I don't know. Well,
like here, okay. So to clarify my question, is I'm gonna equate Torah study to spiritual activity and a job, let's say, to physical things, physical dealings. So why would one study Torah all day, and like why would one study Torah all day? And like, what are the dangers with being out in the world or engaging in the physical, mundane things? And Jen, I think you wanted to say something, so feel free to go.
So there are definitely dangers in like being part of this world, like as opposed to the spiritual world. But I feel like our jobs, because we are physical beings, is to elevate the physical world and to like make what is physical into spiritual in any way that we can.
1,000%, yes. Agreed. Anyone have any thoughts? Other thoughts? Yeah, go, Dina.
Also, I feel like, yes, obviously learning Torah is important, but I feel like there's also something called hishtadlus. Like we're supposed to not just rely on Hashem to do everything for us, even though like he does do everything for us, but we shouldn't like fully like just sit around on our couch and like hopefully God will give us everything we need. We have to kind of like work for it. So I feel like yes, learning Torah is important, but also we should be involved in the physical world because we're
Right.
also like
No,
what we said
excellent.
before,
Yeah.
as physical beings.
We're physical beings. And Vivian wrote, dangerous to be too involved and forget about Torah. Yeah, so I think about like my little sister who watches TikTok or like just like TV and how it's so normal to do such crazy things. And like even how we dress, we're like very influenced by the world around us. So some people think, okay, like let me go completely to the opposite extreme. So let's see what Rambam says about this in Hilchot Te'ot. Would anyone like to read? I can't see you if you're raising your hand. But okay, I will read. Shema yomad adam ho'il v'ha'kin'a v'ha'tava v'kavod v'chayotze bahem derech ra'ahen u'mot'im et ha'adam min ha'olam. So it's saying that envy, desire, vainglory, new word, okay, kavod, they remove you from the world and they're a bad path. So it says, what should you do? Efrosh mehem beyoted ve'etrachek l'stad ha'acharon. So Rambam is a very middle guy, like go on the middle path, do all these things. But he's saying these things are so bad, you need to go all the way to the opposite extreme. עד שלא יאכל בשר ולא ישתה יין ולא יישא אישה ולא ישב בדירה נאה ולא ילבש מלבוש נאה אלא השק והצמד. Oh yeah, okay. אלא השק והצמד והקשה וכיוצא בהן כגון כהני העובדי כוכבים. So Rambam is saying, okay, so go to the other side, no meat, drink no wine, marry no woman, dwell in no comfortable quarters, dress in no proper clothes. Okay, so what do we think about this? Feel free to call out.
I was just thinking about how it's actually like a sin for like a Talmid Chacham to come wear like stained clothing or something. So
yeah,
I don't know. This just made me think about that.
No, 1,000%.
So I think like the point is like you shouldn't like you still have to show your appearance, and if you're representing God, you can't forego everything just to represent God. Like you have to have a balance.
Yeah. And I will take it even further. Representing God is having that balance. Like that's what we were even talking about in the beginning. Imitating God is having that balance and being in the world. So now let's see. But isn't it crazy that Rambam is saying this? Or is he? I'm trying to trick you really. Because what does he say? Gam zeh derech ra'ah. Also, yeah, Jen wrote, Raquel, beautiful what you said, that you said, also I heard once we don't live in Olam Haba, where it's just spiritual, we should use physical and elevate it. Amazing. And then Jen, living a regular life with the values of a Jew, teaches others also. Okay. So, Gam de derech ra'ah. Vehi asur lalech ba. So Rambam is actually saying, like we just said, you shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be wearing rags, not drinking wine, not being in the pleasures of the world. Even though it seems like he said, go to the opposite extreme of envy, desire, and all these materialistic things, just serving yourself. But rather, he says, someone who goes in this path is called someone who sins. And actually interesting that choteh actually means someone who misses the mark. So if someone read Rambam and said, okay, now time to join the kollel and be separate from the world, then they missed the mark. And how do we know that we shouldn't go become monks? Where do we know this from the Torah? Can anyone think? It was like a few weeks ago. Yeah, exactly, Vivian. And Eliam, what do you want to say?
I'm thinking of Eliyahu Hanavi.
Yes. You want to say more?
Sure. He, I think, at some point wanted to go live in seclusion and everything, and he had to learn that that's not the way to be, and you kind of have to, you have to interact with people and teach people, and there's beauty in being with people.
Right.
I don't know.
Amazing.
I don't really know the whole,
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Exactly. He was saying like, oh, let me go run and be by myself and live like alone. And then I think Elisha like yelled at him or something, or God even. And then that's why he needed to die. Yes, Jen Zalzman, exactly what you're saying, and Vivian too. You're saying Nazir. Oh yeah, Raquel. It's a more selfish practice, whereas Jews value selfless and helping others. I agree with that. Like when you just separate yourself and go live by yourself as a monk, and you're very religious in yourself, but you're not really inventing the world or helping others get to certain places. So let's go to.
I have something to add on to what Eliana
Yeah, go,
said.
Sophia. Yeah.
So, just like the way that Eliyahu ran into seclusion, he went to sit in the desert, and God would tell him to get up, and he wouldn't, because I think in a way he was depressed with what he was as a person, and like he's like, I don't know how to control people. I don't know how to rule an empire. I don't know how to rule a nation. I don't know what to do. So I'm gonna run into seclusion and I'm gonna hide there. Okay.
We lost you. I mean,
like, me?
You're gonna say, yeah. You said they're gonna run into seclusion and he's gonna hide because he doesn't know how to deal with the world.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, and then God said, you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna come to them with fire. We're not gonna come to them with wind, and we're not gonna come to them with anything loud. We're gonna approach them in a calm manner, and we're gonna get through this together.
Right. I love that. Also, we're gonna see more later about everything that you guys are talking about is in Rabbi Sachs says a beautiful quote about it. Okay, but first the Nazir. How do we know we shouldn't be monks? I mean, maybe some people were gonna. Okay, Shareh hu omed benazir v'chiped alav me'asher chata al hanefesh. So amru chachamim u'ma im nazir shelo peresh ela min hayayin sharich kapara hamoneh atzmo mikol davar v'davar alacha kama v'kama. So basically, a nazir, he separates himself from wine and he doesn't cut his hair, and he sort of becomes a monk, as you could say. And then after, he has to bring a korban chata, which is interesting. Okay, he has to bring a korban chata, and then the rabbis say, if a nazir who just separates himself from wine needs kapara, imagine someone who separates himself from everything. That's much worse. Like Chomed. Okay, lefichach ציוו החכמים שלא ימנע אדם עצמו אלא מדברים שמנעתו התורה בלבד. לא יהיה אסור עצמו בנדרים ובשבועות על דברים המותרים. כך אמרו חכמים, לא דייך מה שאסרה תורה אלא שאתה אוסר עליך דברים אחרים. ובכלל הזה, אלו שמטענים תמיד אינם בדרך טובה, ואסרו חכמים שיהיה אדם מסגף עצמו בתענית, ועל כל הדברים האלו וכיוצא בהן ציווה שלמה אמר, אל תהי צדיק הרבה ואל תתחכם יותר למה תשומם. Okay, so basically now it's saying, so you shouldn't deprive yourself of things that the Torah already says, like don't do this, don't do that, and they already say like what not to do. So don't deprive yourself of more. Don't fast more than you need to. Like that's not smart. The rabbis are telling you. And just like there's a quote from Kohelet, this is sort of saying like, don't be too stringent. Like you need to enjoy the world. And when you think that I'm so amazing and I'm being so to the extreme of the other side, you really end up losing out on something else and you're not being wise. But I also want to say that I think there's something, like I went to, in Israel, there's a different like way of how Jews are categorized, I would say. And there are people called Charedim. So they're like more ultra Orthodox, I guess, as you would say now. And we went on like a Shabbaton there and we were just speaking to them. And they like their husbands wouldn't speak to us, like woman work, the husbands learn all day. And like at first you think like, what is this life? Like it's crazy. Then you realize and you talk to the people and they're like, this is what we need. This is what we want. We know that if we're in the world, if we're with technology, if we're all these things, then yes, Sivan, then we're not gonna be good Jews. And like, so that's what they choose. And I think like we can't judge them, but we can just also not choose that way. And here's the Rabbi Jonathan Sachs quote. And I thought this picture was so cool. It's like the physical touching the spiritual, touching whatever. Anyway, so Rabbi Sachs, anyone want to read it? It's in English. Yeah, go, Sophia.
Moral life is not always simple, a matter of black and white. Right and wrong. It usually is no perfection. The Nazir is good and holy, but from the perspective of Jewish faith as a whole, such a life is not an ideal. Judaism wants us to celebrate life, not retreat from it. It is holy to retreat from the world and its challenges, but holy.
Right, okay. So I think this is beautiful. He's basically saying that, yes, it's very holy to go be a Nazir, and it does say that in the Torah, whatever, in the Torah or Gemara. Even holier and harder is to be holy while you're in the world. And I think that's more of the approach that we take, maybe, like working and learning. But I think that we still need to be careful, like, because how should we shouldn't completely remove ourselves from the world and the physical and the desires, but how do we make sure that we don't go OTD, off the derech? So to answer that question, we're going to take a little detour, hence this sign. Pictures just make me very happy. Okay. So I want to ask you, so I had a plumber or electrician, something in my house like a few weeks ago, and he kept on talking about religion with my mom and my sister. Okay. Victoria's coming in real life. Okay. So we kept on talking about religion with this plumber, and Victoria was explaining to him the beracha, and you could have a first person story over here, but I'll wait here. Okay. Okay, this is my name. I had to come in, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so anyway, we were talking about different beracha, and I'm gonna ask you right now, how would you explain to a random person what a beracha is and like how you practice it? Yeah, go, Sivan.
It's kind of like you thanking God for providing you with things before you eat it and use it.
Right. And Vicky, you can put your picture on, whatever. Amazing. And okay, I want you to also look at this right here, and tell me. Actually, sorry. Continue. You're so good. You're saying a blessing before. Amazing. What else?
And after also.
What? And after, yeah. But okay, go, Jen.
Just like a way of praising Hashem.
A way of praising Hashem. Okay. I want to even get to more of the specifics. Like, let's say I want to eat this banana right now. What do I do?
You're saying you categorize like where in the earth it came from, and like you're saying like it's like saying like thank you God for kind of bringing the fruit of like this particular place or category.
Amazing. And so what I'm also good, amazing everyone, thank you for answering. Before I take the banana, I say the blessing before the action, and I can't like have such a break in between. Like I have to say the beracha and eat it right away. So now with that in mind, with those two things, like not having a hefsek and saying it before the action, what do you have, what do you think when you see this? Birkat HaTorah. Yeah, Dina. Like what questions do you have? We say Birkat HaTorah right after Birkat HaShachar every morning. And it sort of says like we're going to learn Torah and we accept that we're a part of God's nation and things like that.
So why aren't we right after we say those brachot learning Torah?
Good question. Okay. Anyone else? let's say I'm going to learn right now. Should I be saying this beracha before? Anyone? Okay, we're going to go to the Gemara to answer these questions. And also, this little segment is modified, or like I remembered it from Rabbi Goldsmith, who you guys know, but some of you, principal of Shalavim, and I really just loved it. So I found my source sheet from the class and inserted it in, whatever. Okay, so next, Tosafot on Berachot Yud Aleph Bet. Anyone want to read? Victoria, you should read. Are you there? Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm muting myself. Also, I have a thought. Can I share it?
Yeah, share it.
So I want to answer. I was thinking of something that you asked. I don't see names. I don't know why right now. But actually, after the Birkot Torah in the morning, we actually do read Torah, very interestingly. Because right after it's
Birkat Kohanim.
It's a cool
Yes.
Okay.
And that's also in here, but I wanted you to read this also. Okay.
So just the what, underline?
The Tosafot. No, the whole thing.
Oh my gosh, I think I taught this Tosafot. Okay. שכבר נפטר באהבה רבה. עמי אין אנו מברכים ברכות התורה פעם אחרת כשאנו מתחילים ללמוד? That's our question.
Wait, explain.
Oh, okay. So why don't we say ברכות התורה, when we learn?
Okay, thank you. Continue.
אבל ברכת אשר בחר בנו וברכת לעסוק בדברי תורה, שהן עיקר לברכת התורה, פותרות כל היום. We're now patur the whole entire day. ואם תאמר, מה ישנה מסוכה שצריך לברך על כל סעודה וסעודה לשב בסוכה? Hey, you know what? When it comes to Sukkot, every time you have to say the ברכה, ויש לומר, תשנה תורה, שאינו מייאש דעתו, דכל שעה אדם מחויב ללמוד. דכתיב, והגית בו יומם ולילה. I love that pasuk. והמה כמו יושב כל היום בלא הפסק. אבל אכילה בסוכה יש שעה קבועה.
Okay, wait. Yeah, explain the rest.
So, really, what the Tosafot is saying that Birkot HaTorah in the beginning of the day should be enough, because the whole day, your mind should be involved with Torah. Right? Like we learn in Yehoshua that pasuk v'hagita bo yomam v'layla. It's so gorgeous. We should all frame it on our walls. So really, the whole day, it should be like there's no hefsek. But sukkah, that's very different. We're not sitting in the sukkah all day, right? You're moving, you're getting out.
Right. Amazing. So now we're gonna go back to what Jacqueline said in the beginning. But so I think what we just said is that Victoria, also you read, it was beautiful to have you in the class and read it, and and you also got a shout out from Jacqueline in the chat. Anyway, so Torah is different, and every hour a man is obligated to study Torah. So you're covered the whole day. But now I want to go back to that question. So why should we work? Like, shouldn't we learn all day? Now we're going to go to the a very weird Mishnah, and we're going to answer that question. And here's a cute picture that will go along with it. Anyone want to read the Mishnah? / Victoria, you did. Oh, go, Adina.
Okay, I'll read. Motni Amar Rabbi Akiva Sha'alti et Rabban Gamliel vet Rabbi Yehoshua be'itlis shel imaom shahachu likach behema lemishteh beno shel Rabban Gamliel.
Right. So basically, here it's talking about how whatever one rabbi said to the other, or like asked the other, where did you get your meat? Which butcher did you go to get something for this person's son? And Rabbi Goldsmith said, like, what? Why is it including this in the Mishnah? Like, who cares? He asked which butcher he went to so that he could go get the right meat. Like, why is this included? And anyone want to read the Tosafot? Also, Adina, you could just continue if you want. Yeah.
שלחו לקח בהמה למשתה וכולי, להודיע שבכן שאף על פי היו תורידין, היו עוסקים בדברי תורה.
So Tosafot is saying something, Tosafot Yeshanim. It's saying something so beautiful that it says this in the Mishnah because it's showing their praise. Why is it showing their praise? Because even though they were working, hayu oskim b'divrei Torah. So even at the butcher, they were busy with Torah. Okay, very interesting. So how does this work? How do you think you could be like at a butcher and be involved in Torah? Yes, Adina, excellent. Yeah, go Sivan.
You could like chef the animal in like the right way. You could do things that are keeping mitzvot, like cleaning the meat and thinking about what you're doing and how everything comes from Hashem and stuff.
Amazing. Kashrut laws discussion, dealing with the butcher kindly, Vivian said. Amazing. Okay, I love it. Okay, now we're going to go to Rav Soloveitchik to expand on this thought. So Tosafot answers. Oh, actually, anyone want to read? It's in English again. You go, Sivan.
Okay, Tosafot answers the word lasok suggests a habitual activity that does not necessarily involve specific intent. Torah is not only to be studied, but demands an all-encompassing involvement. When a mother plays with her child, for example, there is an acute awareness of her child's existence. But even when the mother is working at a job or is distracted by some other activity, there is a natural latent awareness of her child's existence. The latent awareness is expressed in commitment, devotion, and a feeling of identification. The same is true with regard to Torah. The acute awareness present when actually studying may not pertain all day, but the latent answer is always there. For this reason, the bracha is recited only once in the morning, and it suffices for each time one learns during the day, no matter how many interruptions take place.
Okay, so first, thank you for reading. Beautiful. I think this is so, so nice. It's talking about, just to recap, acute awareness and latent awareness. And acute awareness is when, let's say I'm at the butcher. I am focusing on the meat that I'm picking, whatever, okay, how much is this? Anyway, then the latent awareness could be, wow, I'm about to go do this, and like I care so much about kosher that I go to a more expensive meat place. You're always having Torah and mitzvah, and oh, let me be kind to that butcher, like Vivian was saying, in the back of your mind. So there's always Torah there. And I think that's how you could have Torah throughout your whole day. Exactly what Jacqueline was saying. I'm filling out this survey that says, how much do I learn? My whole life is Torah. It's not just one moment or an event. And to even just throw this in, let's say I remember my sister Adele, we went for Shabbat together, and she said, I hate when they just like want to insert a Dvad Torah in the meal. And I'm like, what? That's so nice. Like, why are you saying that? She said, because when you have to do that, it means that your whole conversation is not Torah. When you have to, I mean, or it could be, and like someone just saying it, but when you don't even have to insert it because it's just natural that that's the flow, you're talking about meaningful things, how much even more beautiful is that? Oh, okay. So Jacqueline says, is there a halakha about having Torah discussion at every meal, or is it just encouraged? I've heard something about it. I'm pretty sure, like it says, if you don't have, when 3 people congregate or something, if you don't have divrei Torah, then it's like you're serving avodah zarah, something like that. Victoria, what are you saying?
Sorry,
Wait, you're muted. Okay.
I'm not sure the source, but it does say somewhere that if you don't say Dvar Torah on your table, it's like you're doing something terrible. But I'm not sure. Like, I wonder if that's like just the Hachamim wanting to promote Dvar Torah on your table. You know?
Right.
Right. I didn't know if it was an actual halacha. Like I remembered hearing about it, something about it, but I just think there's something special to it, even if it's just being something that's being encouraged. The fact that it's considering something off about your meal, like whether it's through a beracha or just like the acknowledgement of like a God in your life. I think there's something special about the way we conduct meals that like sanctifies what we're doing and adds meaning to it.
Agreed. Go Sivan, then Victoria.
Yeah, I heard something similar, like something about zivchei metim and like it's like you're eating like dead people. Like I don't know, something I heard something about like death and like bad things is like that's what you're doing if you're not saying a Torah at your meal. I don't remember what the exact quote was, but it was something about zivchei metim.
Okay, we're gonna find it. Yeah, Victoria.
Also, Jacqueline. So first of all, hi. And it's so funny because I remember this machloket happening on the table. I don't know if it was just with Adele. I could have thinking of other voices. And the other voice said, yeah, but there's still something nice to it. There's something beautiful about introducing a Dvar Torah. Even if your perspective is Torah throughout, there's still something special to it. So I hear you.
But I was even saying through the Adele way, actually, that like I think the best part of it is like I think our meals at face value are already like enhanced in a way because there's an element of like you're saying thank you like before and after, and so I feel like that's sort of like getting the ball rolling for you, and now it just like leaves room for like what comes up. But I also think like if you just live your life by Torah, it's bound to come up in conversation, like Adele was saying. So it's not about like saying like this is what we need to direct as a time for it, but like this is just what we want our conversations to be about. Like, I don't know, when you're in the right circles, you feel it. Like, I don't know, it makes me think of like when I'm on a seminar table with like you, Victoria, and like Samantha, and like we're all sitting around, and somehow it just ends up that how could a bad conversation come out of like those people sitting together? Like, you know, you're with the right people when all the good conversations come up. So I sort of feel like I get Adele like in that sense.
Thank you for clarifying. I think you're so
Yeah,
right.
Jacqueline, I love it, and you made me make me laugh. But also I think what you're saying is also that there's something deeper about eating together, which I agree with. Like eating really brings people together. That's why like you have business meals, unfortunately, that Jews can't always eat by, but like sometimes they can. Like it really does unite people. There's something special. But I want to continue.
Sorry,
go,
just
Dina.
one more thing.
Okay.
There's also like a reason why, like when it says like v'samachta v'chagecha, we're also supposed to make other people happy. Like over the Chagim, like we're also supposed to not just eat a meal in our kitchen. Like we're supposed to have guests. We're supposed to be with people, our family. I mean, besides this time, but like in normal circumstances when it's not COVID, we're supposed to be around people and family and yeah.
Okay, amazing. So I want to just continue. So
Sorry, Samantha, you're gonna kill me. I just want to throw out the source that we brought up before. I got it.
Okay, go.
We were talking about. We're speaking about eating b'shulchan without Dvar Torah. It's in Pirkei Avot. It's Rabbi Shimon Omer shlosha she'achlu al shulchan echad v'lo amru alav divrei Torah ki'ilu achlu mizivchei metim shne'emar, and then a pasuk from Yeshayahu. But exactly what you were saying, the three people eating together, and I think Sivan, I think that's what you said, and it also says excellent. I just wanted to point that out. I'm sorry.
No, beautiful. Thank you. Amazing. Okay, but let's just continue in interest of time. So our studies, so Mishneh Torah, right after the other things that we were saying, pleasure, no pleasure, go to the extreme, but don't be a Nazir, like Nazir need to bring a korban. It says, Tzaddik ha'adam shikaven libo v'chol ma'asav kulam ledat Hashem baruch hu bilvad. V'yesh shivto v'kumo v'diburo hakol le'umat zeh hadavar. So basically what he's saying is that it is necessary for man to set his heart and all his effort solely to know the name blessed is he. And he continues on in this paragraph and he says, money and marital relations and food and drink, like, yes, they could be dangerous, but if they're for the purpose of sustaining yourself and like not, I guess, living to eat versus eating to live, then they're good and you need them. You need to eat in order to live and have a good body. And the next chapter of the Mishneh Torah are a full chapter about how you should eat and eating healthy and taking care of your body. And I think that's very important to acknowledge. And then I want to say, we're going to skim soon, but pleasure has to be within the context of God's plan. Therefore, pleasurable actions are good only if they are performed also as a means to the higher end of serving or knowing God. So that's the solution. If eating is your end, then that's not good. But if eating is a means to your end of serving God and getting closer to God, then that's the key. So now, Rabbi Norman Lamb, who actually just passed away, but he was the head of YU, and amazing rabbi. We should all read more of his books. And he has a book called Torah Umada, also amazing book. Let's read the end of this. This idea of worship through corporeality addressed another problem as well. Hasidism, Hasidut had set for its adherents an enormously difficult challenge, that of uninterpreted dvekut. How could such a high state of rapture or even fundamental God consciousness be maintained when a myriad of prosaic and mundane details demanded attention in the course of each day? So he's building on this. He said, how could you be forever connected to God and always have this consciousness when these very mundane activities themselves became the vehicle for dvekut? The problem disappeared. The physical or social involvements were exalted and the dvekut was continued, albeit in a new form. This is what Jen, I think, was saying before, like when you elevate the mundane and make it holy. So that it's not like you need to have two brains that, oh, one is doing my job right now and one is in Torah and thinking about God, but it's connected. And whether eating and drinking, playing one's trade, or dealing in business, one must intend to release the sparks that vitalize all that exists and reveal the immanence of the Creator in his creation. So I think that's beautiful. Then another quick thing, Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch in his 19 letters writes, his whole life, his whole being, his thoughts and feelings, his speech and actions, even his business transactions and enjoyments, all of these are service of God. Such a life is exalted above all mutation. Fulfillment of the divine will with our property and our pleasures, with our thoughts, words, and deeds, that should be the contents of our lives. And that's why even when they say at the end of your life, you're going to be asked, why didn't you enjoy from this? And why didn't you enjoy from that? It's because you should be enjoying from everything that God gives you and using all these things to get closer to him. But I want to think practically. First, then I want to think of practically though. How do we get these glasses that we see the world through? And we see the world through Torah so that our whole day, we're really fulfilling the Lo Yamush Sefer HaTorah Hazeh Mipicha. How are we fulfilling learning Torah all day while not being kollel at the same time? We touched on it before, but I think it relates to two things. One, One is asking yourself how this can be related to Torah and mitzvah. Like in the butcher, like thinking to the kashrut of the aspect or helping someone. So it could either be like ben adam lechavero or ben adam lemakom. Even just seeing the creations of God and connecting to him through that. And I think I brought even more practical examples. So I'm just going to go on a rant and say, because I really like this. Let's say you were in school. Wow, English class. Like, what am I doing? This is so boring. Okay, how could I be inspired or live through Torah, glasses through Torah through this? I learned how to analyze this text. Now I can use that to analyze the Torah. I could write a divrei Torah eloquently. I can make a class and see the organization skills. Math. Isn't it cool how the formulas work and how God gave me a brain that can problem solve? Science, nature, amazing. Our body, wow. Thank you, God. There has to be a God. Cooking, beracha, of course. But even where did this food come from? What needed to go into this food? Oh, thinking of Israel, rain, sunshine, cooking for people. Lucky I have them. My body works. I can go to the bathroom. I could walk, breathe, think, have clothes. Thank you, God. I'm lucky that not everyone else does. With my friends, I'm lucky to have them, people in my life. I know how to talk. I can help someone give advice. Sleeping. I wake up and have a new, fresh day. I have a comfy bed. Okay, that's all one thing. Just reminding yourself. The next thing is thinking about the purpose of why you're doing certain things. Asking yourself why. Why do I work so hard? Why am I here? Why do I go to school every day? Why do I have a job? And thinking about that and what the real purpose of that is. It's not, and I think that's something also beautiful about Torah, that it's not just a means to an end, but it's an end in of itself. And using all these things to see that there's an end and that God gave me these talents and I could do my contribution through this. And I work so hard because I need to better the world and be a light unto the nations. And when you dig deeper, it gives you purpose and you'll have the right intent. And I think with that way, you could always just be learning Torah and live a happy, pleasurable, and meaningful life. Any comments? Thank you. Okay, wait, let me stop my sharing. Thank you all for coming. To just sum up, even though we summed up already, but like, basically, you don't need to study all day because, like Jacqueline and everyone was saying, you can live a life of Torah instead. And I think that's even more beautiful because you get to, like that Rabbi Sachs says, not be separated from the world, but use everything and contribute to the world. Well, yeah.
No one has to say, but I just want to comment on that. I almost feel like it's much easier to like be in the Beit Midrash all day and stay connected that way. But I think the real challenge is when you really, step out of the Beit Midrash and that's still part of your life.
Agreed.
But
I really do also.
How to do that. So thanks, Sam.
Thanks for coming, everyone.
Much. It's so nice.
Thank you.
And thank you for contributing and everyone, like, really awesome.
Samantha, I love you. Thank you.
I love you, Jackson. I saw you. I know. I really love you.
Have a great
Thank you,
night.
Deborah and Diana and Trina.
Thanks,
Trina,
Sam.
I'm so happy you came. Jen, I love you.
Love you.
Adina, thank you. Also, everyone. Sophia, you rock. Trina, Yola, Nechama, you and your encouragement, really. Thanks, everyone.